Comment 2026 in the comment section to get the free PDF of current challenges facing Indian economy and chapter-wise simulation of 40 marks for each of the chapters in it, carrying 20 marks for your AISSCE economics examination of 18th March 2026. So talking about human capital formation, what is the role of the government? Yet we have not touched upon government. See, government has an extensive role to play. Government has many tiers in our country. Union government, state government, panchayat, municipality. So everywhere, every tier of the government is responsible to look after the healthcare system and education system of that particular place. Not only that, in our country, which has such a huge population, all government educational and health institutions are not enough. And health and education does not only have social benefit, it also has private benefits. So it is also important that the private sector intervene in order to impart education and healthcare service. Now, these two things that I have said right now about different tiers of government and the private and public sector investment in education and healthcare are each of 2 marks or 1 mark question. Now, talking about a 3-mark question now with regards to government's role in the education system. That is, government has to play a supervisory role. As I just now said, that there has to be private sector coming up with healthcare and education service. But government has to check on the quality of that service. Why? Number 1, because the impact of education and healthcare is irreversible. So, government has to be very, very cautious that none of the private institutions impart erroneous education or erroneous healthcare service, because the impact is irreversible. If a person dies, you cannot make him alive. Number 2, it is important that with such a huge population and a mandatory impact of the private healthcare and educational services, government has to supervise whether the quality they are giving is right or not. And number 3, the charges, the price that they charge for education and health service by the private sector is very, very important for the government to have a regulation on them. Otherwise, they will keep on exploiting people, because most of the cases the people are not even aware of the correct cost of the service. Now, after all these things, government has a huge contribution in healthcare and education. Speaking about education, it was already said in the first Education Commission of 1964-66 that 6% of our GDP should be given for education. But in reality, it ended up with only less than 4%. All that I'm saying, children, in these 3 minutes or 4 minutes videos are words which are going to give you 3 marks, 1 marks, 2 marks or 4 marks for your final CBSE examination of economics. So listen to them very carefully. In 1999, the Tapas Majumdar Committee was formed, which talked about universalization of elementary education. In another 10 years, will be requiring a sum of 1.37 lakh crores, because government's main emphasis is on elementary education, that is education of the children from 6 to 14 years. Beyond that, government is not very much responsible, but it is absolute responsibility of government of any country to universalize elementary education, that is education for all from 6 to 14. That means all children in the age group of 6 to 14 years should be in school, basic foundation education. And the government's largest part of the budget is actually given for universalization of elementary education. Also, government has kept a 2% levies on all the union taxes for the betterment of education system. So, follow on the next part for the concluding part of the chapter, Human Capital Formation in India.